Today we're going to explore balance in the body. And so I ask that you find yourself either on a yoga mat or on a rug or a floor, or better yet, in nature outside on the ground, and just finding the soles of your feet as they press against the mat or whatever surface you're choosing to stand on. And then maybe rocking back and forth slowly on one side, then the other side. So you can do like a pedaling motion. And then eventually, just going from front to back, exploring how the entire bottom of your feet compresses against the surface. And so you'll feel perhaps the tip of each toe sinking into the ground. And from there, then you can begin to focus on mountain pose. So there's balance in the weight in the bottom of both of your feet. And then you can begin to engage the muscles in the leg. Lift the kneecaps. Engage your thighs. And what does that look like? When you're engaging the muscle, you're becoming aware of it, and you're using it, squeezing, to lengthen the body, to expand the rib cage. You go from the legs to the hips, to the diaphragm. And one of the best ways to expand and work with the diaphragm is through breath work, which we'll explore we'll do an entire video just on breath work. And so what you're doing is just, as you breathe in and you're feeling the air expand into your lungs, naturally, something happens with your posture. And so if you're just standing and then you're focusing on your breath, you see you get taller. Let your rib cage expand and feel your spine expanding as well, all the way up to your shoulders and your arms. And what you can do as you're playing with engagement in the body and how your muscles feel, roll the shoulders and bring them down away from the ears, because oftentimes I know with myself, I'll be doing my writing in the morning, I'll find the shoulders creep up. So really allowing the pectoral region to expand and back instead of our forward leading society. Pull that back. You've got the shoulders away from the ears, your rib cage opened. And then extending the head and the neck, feeling as though someone were pulling by the top of your head until your body is in alignment. There should be a soft curve to the lumbar spine. There are natural occurring curves in the spine, and we want to honor that. And as we are present and feeling the body in mountain pose, you can turn your hands, your palms facing the front of the room. And just put a bend in one knee, whatever knee you're going to be lifting first. And as you do, you can tune into the subtle shifts of what's going on the standing leg. It's finding its balance. Little actions like this. And then eventually, you can grab your other knee and hold like this. You can do this with straps. You can pull it out to the front, and as soon as you find your balance there might be a little wavering and adjusting, even within each toe. And then you can go ahead and bring your opposite arm out to one side, and then bring the knee out to one side. And feel like the teetering and the as you're balancing, feel what's going on in the body. There is a constant assessment, a constant adjusting. And you can do it with or without your hand on your knee. And what you'll notice is a constant leveling happening as you're moving. And then you might decide, I'm just going to turn to the side for this one. As you bring your knee up and you find the balance, you can bring it out to the side and find the balance, or you can bring it straight back into sort of an airplane. You can decide to put your arms parallel and toward the wall in front of you. You can put your arms down, and if this is difficult for you, you can start by supporting yourself with something, whether it's a chair or the floor. And just notice the constant shifting in the body to achieve balance as you are moving. Now, the muscles in my leg that was standing, you can definitely feel it in the standing leg. And all these little micro movements that you're doing to find balance, you're engaging muscles in a way that you don't normally do in active life. And so just play with the idea of balance. Notice, just a little crack in my lower back from that one, it felt great. Notice if you have more difficulty on one side versus the other side. And so what I'm doing here is leaning forward. I touched the floor on this one. But I'm going to explore, a little wibbly wobbly, and that's fine. Explore different positions of balance. And breathing. Now, if you're just starting out and you're feeling like balancing is a challenge for you, then definitely be supported by a wall or a chair, whatever it is that you need. To assist you in feeling balanced. And then eventually, you can break away from that. And standing on one leg, you think is pretty easy. But really, again, you'll feel into the muscles that you're just not used to engaging. And then you can start doing a little flow. Make your own flow, your own movement on one leg. And if you get to a point where this is just ridiculously easy for you, you can explore the traditional tree pose with yoga, where you are either going just directly above or directly below the knee. And playing with the arms. And of course, the breath. Now, as you're doing tree pose, you're using some basic principles of biotensegrity as you're putting pressure in the system And that pressure helps with stability. And so as I'm doing this, I noticed my shoulders were moving forward. And so I consciously take a breath, pull them back, back and down. And when you get into the position, you can again explore with movement with your arms. You can create that circuit of pressure. But instead of flowing from one position to another, try holding that position for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or longer. And you'll notice with tree pose, or I notice in my own body, that from one side to the other, there's definitely a difference. And that can be for many reasons, whether your skeletal structure is off, whether you've had accident or injury to one side. And so on this side, I'm going to choose the lower position, just below the knee. And do the same thing. Explore my breath and the movement of the arms. And the thing with balance in these positions is you're constantly looking for center. So these little micro movements that your body is doing to adjust and so that you stay upright and balanced. So really tuning into your body. And then if you start with a simpler pose, then maybe you do this every day for 5 minutes a day, and then you work your way up to different poses or more challenging version of the same pose. And maybe that is too challenging for you, and just, here's the challenge, is just standing on one leg and either bringing the other leg up or even just lifting it to begin with 1 inch, 2 inches off the ground. And once you've explored your balance on a flat surface, you can then begin to practice on uneven surfaces. Again, this is something you want to explore in a safe space. So you want to be able, so I have just one of these little body boards. And so it's got the dome shape. And so I can begin to play on this, balancing left and right, balancing forward and back. And it's amazing, these simple little exercises. Again, if you're really tuning into the body and you can feel the different muscles engaged and these little micro movements, just keep yourself steady. And so you can explore and have fun with it. So that's just a bodyboard, and the way to actually use this fit board is to do twisting. So I'll just show you. I had to get off my yoga mat. And there is a component of balancing to that twisting motion as well. But again, you can find other ways to use this board. You can do, you can take this board and decide that you're going to do a forward bend on it. So now, instead of having your feet squared, you've got this little movement happening as you bend. And so again, you're going to have to engage different muscles in order to do the same exercises. I can feel this right through my hamstrings in a way that is, if you just go ahead and do a regular forward fold, I can definitely feel it in my hamstrings still. But then if you do the same thing and you're trying to stay in balance, you've just got more muscle engagement, more activity. You can also do things on a rebounder, a mini trampoline, or a Bosu ball, which is just a dome that you can use for exercise. And again, I've used this in another one of my videos. These are really great for providing that squishy, uneven surface, and you can actually use this as do a little bit of rebounding on here as well, which is just so good for your entire system, your lymphatic system, as well as your fascia. And so just pretending to do mountain pose on the ball, you've got a surface underneath you that's constantly moving. But you can still engage. Bring in the breath. Use the arms for balance. And you can actually, this is a whole different level of difficulty or intensity. And I've got the wobble on the one leg, so it's making it really challenging just to lift the leg. But what you'll notice is if you do this daily, you'll just get better and better. Now I have to say, if you have vertigo or anything going on in your ears, you will want to probably come for an MFR session and have some cranial work done, which can really help rebalance those crystals. But anything that, if you have something physical that's affecting the balance in your body, you can still start slow, do these things against a wall, keep yourself in a safe environment, and just, this is an invitation to play with balance. This is an invitation to explore on your own different ways to bring the body into alignment and into balance. And doing these subtle little things, you can tune into what you're feeling in your body, what's going on in your body. And as always, when you're doing a home care practice, then when you come in to get treated by your MFI therapist, then you have a better understanding. Like, you know what? I noticed this. I tell your therapist what you're noticing. I noticed I have limited range of motion, or I have difficulty maintaining balance on this side. I cannot do standing leg lifts on the left, but I can on the right. So what is going on? You can feel into your body where there is pain, where there is suffering, where there is restriction, where there is limitation on your range of motion from one side to the other. And so have fun exploring balance and let me know how you make out.